Hey everyone, my name is Tasha Smutney. I am a three-time IATAN card holder and a double gold leader. Tonight we're going to talk about how you can market your travel business through connecting with local businesses and forming partnerships with them. Okay? So, this is really helpful because it's going to help you grow your visibility, your credibility, and your client base through being strategic, forming those community relationships. All right, so let's get started. So, why? Why local partnerships? So, first of all, this is a low cost, high trust marketing strategy because you're stepping into somebody else's already trusted space, local businesses that people already use, right? So, here's why this is really helpful. People are going to book with those that they know, they like, and they trust. So if I have a partnership with a business, they feel like, oh, I'm loyal to that business. They're supporting and endorsing this person. I can trust them. Local businesses already have those warm, loyal audiences that we could tap into. It costs you nothing to collaborate with other business owners. Costs you nothing. It can create a long-term referral stream for you. I help their business, they help my business, right? And it also gives you instant credibility. If another business says, oh, yeah, I would recommend traveling with Tasha for all of your travel needs, and they're already an established business that people go to and they support and they trust, that automatically makes me credible in their eyes, right? So I'm going to talk first my example. I do have a partnership with a local allergen-free bakery. All right. I have multiple life-threatening food allergies. So not only can I go get a sweet treat on the weekends there, because they're only open weekends, that is free of all of my allergens. I could buy anything in their shop and I feel safe. I can also market to their customers because one of my specialties is helping people who have life-threatening food allergies safely travel. This perfectly matches one of my niches, right? Matches my niche in allergy safe family travel. Cross promotion inside the bakery. There is a stack of my business cards at the register. Social content opportunities. Every single time I go, I make at least a story on social media. I tag it. I show myself eating my donut on the morning or something, right? Supporting her business, she supports my business. This is an ideal audience already for me. Families with food allergies or adults with food allergies. This helps me connect directly with, and maybe you've heard this or not heard this before, my perfectly aligned clients. People who need the service I provide. Perfectly aligned clients. Now, we're going to be talking soon about maybe we do a promotion. Maybe I say, oh, if you book anybody who is referred from the bakery, if you book a trip with me, I can give them a gift card to her bakery. Even if it's $10, right? I'm certainly going to make more than $10 on that booking, right? So I'm going to be talking to her about that soon, probably for the new year, because she is super crazy with holiday menus and all that stuff right now. But next time I go in, I'm going to have a conversation about, hey, is this something you think we could do? I'll be honest, I don't know if she even has gift cards, but we can absolutely talk about getting gift certificates or things if she doesn't already. Because I'd be willing to do that. Somebody has a gift certificate for booking with me, they're absolutely going to go back there, right? So it gets me out in my local community to people who have a need for my services. Remember, we're not selling travel. People already want to travel. But what problem are we helping our potential clients solve? For me, in this area of my niche, it's not my only specialty, but there are people who have food allergies or children in their family with food allergies. They won't even go to a local restaurant because they're scared to eat out. Now imagine they're going out and they have no control over their food, or they've only ever traveled to a place that they could have a kitchen and get grocery delivery. But now they want to go on a cruise and they feel stuck on a boat. This is how I felt before I went on my first cruise. I'm like, I can't go on a cruise. I'm going to be stuck on a boat and not have any food that I can safely eat, or I'm going to have an allergic reaction in the middle of the ocean and have to get airlifted off. I was so anxious the first time I went on a cruise. It was before I was a travel agent, but I love cruising. I am addicted to cruising now. And it can absolutely be done safely. So I found a business that aligns with something I'm passionate about helping in the industry, right? So let's talk about what makes a good business partner. And this is going to be different for everyone, but here are the characteristics. Because remember, you're not looking for everyone. You're looking for the right fits for your business, for your specialties. They serve your ideal clients. Their customers already travel, because we're going to talk about other businesses that are complementary too. They have a strong local presence. They're known in the community. They're trusted in the community. They're successful in the community. Those are the people we want. Collaboration benefits both sides. It's not a good business partner if the collaboration only benefits you or only benefits them. It should be a mutual benefit, right? And the partnership shouldn't feel forced. It should feel natural and authentic, right? I want to be able to help your business. I would like help from your business. But if it feels forced, it's not the right partner. So let's talk about a few categories of businesses. More than just a few, but category 1, businesses that are adjacent to the travel industry. Not quite the travel industry, but these businesses are constantly working with people who are planning travel, planning honeymoons, anniversaries, destination weddings, other big events. This could be wedding venues, bridal boutiques and tux shops. Often those places will make a list of recommended travel agents to share with their couples getting married. Okay. I know Michaela, who's my mentor, one of her specialties is honeymoons and destination weddings. She has partnerships with local wedding venues who recommend her to their couples. Florists, people who provide flowers for these events. Photographers, people who are having big events, they're always working with a photographer and potentially, especially if it's wedding. A lot of these are related to wedding, but not the last one's not, but they are going to travel. Event planners could be planning something that is in a destination, or if they're an event planner for a wedding, that they need to travel later. A lot of times, even when the event is kind of planned separate from the travel when it's a destination, this could be business traveler event planners. They're planning the convention and all the events at the convention, but they need a travel professional to arrange the hotel block, to arrange transportation back and forth from the hotel, to arrange meeting space and convention space, that's all done by the travel agent, not by the person who's putting together the actual events at that convention or at that family reunion or those types of things. So event planners are great business partners for travel agents. Okay. So that's our first category. Businesses that are related to travel, but are not exactly travel. This next one really is that as well, but transportation and logistics businesses. This can be limo and car services, airport shuttles, party buses, charter bus companies, rideshare drivers who have business cards. When we were in St. Louis, the Uber we took to the St. Louis Arch, she also does private driving for people. She gave us her business card and we gave her our contact information. She said, if you have people traveling to the area who would like private transportation and not to have to use the app, feel free to give them our information. We don't always think about that because we think, oh, they're through app, they're through Uber, they're through Lyft. But it can be more. This is perfect for group travel and cruise clients who need transfers, really anyone who needs transfers, but charter bus companies. They do not typically pay commission. However, we charge a per person fee, instant commission to you. Somebody who can help you with that is Amy Moore. Amy Moore is an expert. She does multiple group bus trips every single year. But we can have a fee, right? Airport shuttles. How often do you hear your clients say, we always take care of them in destination. We don't always take care of them from their home. Hey, can you help me with getting to the airport from my home? Now, there's a local travel agency near me, well-established brick and mortar. They basically they advertise chartered trips and they do airport shuttles. And I can work directly with them. They'll give me a little bit of like a referral fee, but they do airport shuttles. Limos and car services. Some of them will pay finder's fees. Some of them will pay a commission to a travel agency or just a collaboration. Hey, I do a lot of weddings. I do a lot of prom. And those parents want to take their kids. They want to do a senior trip. I talk to a lot of people who are going to travel and haven't arranged it yet just because I drive for events. So these are different categories as well. But we can also make those connections in destination, right? I know, for example, Joe Dworsky, who is our current highest travel sales, highest commission earner ever in the company. She has connections in Jamaica that she can get her clients private transfers. Somebody else who's on our team, her name is Teresa. She's got drivers all over Europe that she can refer, you know, and they give her something for doing that. So we can make those connections when we travel. If we use a great person for driving us around, ask, hey, do you have a card so I can refer you to my clients? But also local to you, because even if I'm not just promoting to people local to me, the further I've gotten into the business, the more people that know me or are acquaintances are now using me for travel. And they want transportation from home to the airport. And we can make those connections. Or, hey, Tasha, where you have an event, do you know like limo and car services you would recommend? Absolutely. Let me tell you. Right? Make those connections. Next, family-focused local businesses. We're talking gyms, dance studios, sport leagues. Maybe it's the rec department. Maybe it's the town-based travel baseball, travel soccer, family photographers, toy stores and bookstores. All places we can make a partnership because these are fantastic places for capturing busy families who are planning school break trips or summer vacations, right? You have to go where the people are that need your services. This isn't something we'd necessarily think of. Maybe you've thought of, oh, competition dance studios because they're traveling for competitions or sporting event all those travel teams. Those you probably think of for group travel. I wouldn't necessarily think like a gym that has programs for children, but they may have referral things that they do for their families, businesses we recommend for the things you need, right? These are different categories we can make connections with. I think so often we think, oh, I have nobody to reach out to use my business. There's so many. We're only halfway through the categories. There's more. Okay? Next we have wellness and lifestyle companies, yoga or Pilates studios, gyms and personal trainers, spas, estheticians, holistic practitioners. You know, the people that are doing some of the medical things outside of mainstream medicine. I use that a lot myself personally because I have lots of autoimmune conditions. And quite frankly, regular doctors don't treat them, they ignore them. They treat the diagnosis, but not all the symptoms. So I go to holistic places, mental health coaches. And you might be going, how does this relate to travel? A lot of these places arrange retreats, spiritual retreats, relaxation retreats, yoga retreats, couples getaways related to what they're doing, and stress-free travel. All those are great ways to market that. You can make a partnership with these. Hey, do you ever do retreats? Do you need help planning that? Who here wouldn't have even thought of this category of businesses to make a connection with? Besides, here's what I thought of previously, right? Oh, at my hair studio, can I leave some cards at my hairdressers? The nail salon, can I leave some cards? Right? But would you have thought of these? I didn't think of these before. I'll be honest, I did some research for this training for you guys. There's way more things than I thought possible for reaching out to local businesses. And for some people, maybe yeah, right, I would have never thought of them either. Maybe you wanted to do wellness travel and you're like, I don't know where to even start. Here you go. All these places could potentially use your services. Next, food and hospitality locations. Everybody loves food. People who can afford to eat out can likely also afford to travel. You can cross promote, leave cards for some type of a rack, right? Or run giveaways, right? Bakeries, cafes and coffee shops, breweries and wineries. I was just helping an agent who wants to put together, it's a distillery tour in Kentucky. You can say, oh, I'm going to work with the brewery and hey, I'm giving away, everybody who comes in this month can be entered for free travel planning, which we do anyway, right? Not costing me a thing. I plan your travel for free anyway. For a craft brewery tour down the East Coast, and I'll plan it for you. Right? Meal prep companies, restaurants. There's so many ways. You know who loves to travel? Foodies. People who want to go experience the food in other locations. We can easily make promotions that, oh, if you come in here, you can get entered into this. If you book with me, I can give you, I don't know, a 10% off card. Businesses are happy to do a discount because now they came into your store that they weren't going to come in there to begin with, right? All different things. We can make these connections. Sometimes we got to think out of the box a little bit, like what's going to be, and you brainstorm with those other business owners. What do you think something we can work out that would be beneficial to both of us? I think we have one more category. Here we go. This one hits home for me. Schools and teacher connected spaces. Teacher supply shops, PTO and PTA groups, tutoring centers, after school programs, local community centers. These are all great connections for group travel. Whether that be helping them arrange local field trips, there's commission in there for places. There's planning fees. Maybe we'd talk more the high school level, right? But it could be, I'm working on a trip right now that the Spanish, I don't know if it's class or I'm working with somebody else, so I haven't done all of this. Spanish club, they're going to go to Puerto Rico so that they can experience being immersed in the Spanish Latino community, right? Performing arts groups, band. My high school band went to Disney every 4 years. So everyone got to go once, and we marched down Main Street, USA. Depending on what they have for sports, they could be wanting to do, they might need, they made it to national championships, right? Fundraisers, yep, little leagues, anything that's a nonprofit, right? Those are ways that we can connect. You could do a fundraiser that benefits the schools. There are ways that you can book certain types of travel as like a group trip, not for the school, but that it's a fundraiser trip that it gives back. They do cruises that are that way. Yep. After school programs, local community centers. Maybe there's a theater group and they want to take the kids to the closest place to you, depending where you are. For me, it would work New York City to go see professional theater, whether that's a day trip or an overnight trip. To be able to take kids who are in local theater to go see professional theater is a pretty big deal. And these are the places we can find that. There's lots and lots and lots of different ways that we can connect with our communities and help them. And I think so often we say, oh, connect with your community, and we never talk about how, right? These are some great ways how. I lied. There was another category. See, there's so many. You don't even think of them. Community organizations that are not necessarily connected to the school. Chamber of Commerce. Things like the Rotary Club or community service organizations. Some of those things like Shriners, the Elks, things like that that might want to be doing community service. Neighborhood associations. Local mom groups. Nonprofit event committees, right? These groups are typically looking for people to be speakers, but also sometimes at their events, they want a raffle donation, which is a great way to promote your business. It could be something simple. They're doing raffle baskets, and you can put, I don't know, you can get decent price things like luggage tags, packing cubes. I did once because I did a craft fair at a school and they were looking for things, and I did like a Disney thing. And one of the things in there said free Disney planning, which I do anyway. But I put in like a little, like not real, not like Disney from Disney Mickey ears, but Amazon Disney Amazon Mickey ears. I put like these cheap little, not cheap, but they didn't cost a lot, little drawstring bags and like a little fan that was shaped like Mickey or some like little things, right? We can do those things. But also, think about a local mom group. What all those moms want? A mom getaway. A mom getaway. You connect with the local moms groups, you can arrange a getaway for them, whether it's without the kids or a getaway with the kids, right? You can connect with you would have to contact your Chamber of Commerce and find out what their requirements are to get involved with them. Some of them may have a fee, some of them may not. A lot of Chamber of Commerce, they will have networking groups or meetings that you can go to. Um, I know like things like different Rotary clubs and things connected to the Chamber of Commerce, they'll have local businesses that they'll allow come talk and promote their services to people. All right. So it may require registering, which might have a fee. It may not. You would have to just check with your own local Chamber of Commerce. But the great thing is now, hey, they know about a local business that's in their community and they can promote that. They have different events. And again, it would depend on your location, what that looks like for you. Okay. But there's so many ways to get out in our community. I didn't even talk about, businesses that we could just promote our services. Okay. Because there's also ways we can just reach out to businesses and say, hey, if you need services, this is what I provide. But we're talking more, less, hey, I can book this for you, and more, becoming a part of these other businesses and communities and forming relationships that are mutually beneficial, remember. So it would depend, Marquette, it really depends on your area. You'd have to reach out to your Chamber of Commerce and ask what that involves, if there's a fee, because I think everywhere it's different. It's city or area dependent. So I would look it up and find out. All right. So let's talk about, Tasha, this sounds great. How do I do this? How do I do this? Right? Hey, look, feel free, screenshot. Here's a little script. Hi. And I would recommend if it's a shop, if it's something, go in and talk to the owner. Don't just send an email. Don't just send a voice mail or call. Go in, make that relationship. All right. Hi, I'm a local travel advisor and I help whatever you do. Right. For example, I help families, couples, and groups plan stress-free travel. I love supporting local businesses and I would love to see how we can help each other. I have clients who would benefit from what you offer. Personalize it. What do they offer? And we can explore simple cross promotion or event collaboration. Obviously, you would take this and personalize it to you and to the business that you go speak to. This removes the pressure, sets a collaborative tone immediately. You're not just looking for something from them, you're looking for how you could also benefit them. Right? And obviously, if it's a small business, typically the owner's going to be there. If it's not a tiny business, and I think too, like smaller businesses are going to be the easier ones to do this with at first. If it's not, you may have to say, hey, is there a time that I can schedule to meet with the owner? Right? But it may feel scary, but we can do this, right? So let's talk about examples of collaboration ideas. Now, remember, first of all, a small partnership can often lead to big relationships. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be as simple as, can I leave some business cards or QR codes? My business cards have QR codes. Links them back to your Facebook business page, or if you've made your own website, all those things. Samantha has a meeting scheduled with the local pickleball program about a group trip to Sandals for a pickleball tournament. Nice. Nice. Right? Joint giveaways. Things we can do. Hey, everyone who purchases something this month gets free travel planning services. Remember, we already do free travel planning. They don't know that. Co-host some themed events. Maybe, and we're going to talk about some events, but different events you could host at a coffee shop, at their event. And the next page is actually going to talk about different events. Social media cross promotions. I told you every time I go to the bakery, I talk about how great the food is, how great those treats are, how grateful I am that I can walk into a bakery and safely get anything I want because it's free of the top 9 allergens and some other things. And she started that business because she has 2 children with multiple food allergies, right? Exclusive perks for each other's clients, things we could do. Travel tip cards that you leave at the checkout. Here's some tips about travel. Different things we can do. So let's talk about events we could run together. Maybe we do, and remember, doesn't need to be big. Even if 5 people show up, that can lead to bookings. Doesn't have to be a giant turnout. Maybe you could do a family travel night or a travel trivia night, right? You could host some kind of travel trivia night at a coffee shop or that bakery, or it could be somewhere else if it's not a food location. Now I could do allergy safe travel workshop. How do we travel safely? If it's at a wedding venue or in a bridal shop, usually they have spaces in those bridal shops because, the bride comes out in the dress and they show everybody. Honeymoon and destination wedding Q&A. A cruise 101 night. You could do a cruise party all about cruising. You could connect with those school-based organizations. Do a little workshop on how teachers can travel. Because all of our time off is the most expensive time. If you are somebody working both sides of the business, that could potentially be a time to talk about how becoming a travel agent is great for teachers. A girls' trip planning event, right? Hey, moms, have your partner watch the children. We're going to have a wine night and talk about a mom's getaway, right? These are just honestly the tip of the iceberg, and you can use your creativity and think, what's going to work? What's going to be a great idea for a way to have events that people will come to that's fun and promotes both businesses? If it's a coffee shop or a bakery or a restaurant, it's simple. It's at that fun place that they can get food or beverages, and you're just doing something travel related while you're there. Promoting their business by hosting it there, promoting your business by talking travel. There's so much we can do. I think a lot of us are afraid to do it, though. But we can't. We gotta. How bad do you want your business to be successful? Right? The more places and people that know we can book travel, the more people can book travel with you. Right? It's okay to be nervous. We do it anyway. I saw a video someone posted, and it's the great thing. Like, you're nervous, do it anyway. You don't feel great, do it anyway. You've never done it before, do it anyway. Remember, The biggest growth happens when you step even this much, just this much, out of your comfort zone. Here's what you bring to their business. You help their clients travel with ease. You offer a high value service completely free. You provide expert knowledge. Your content that you create boosts the visibility of the businesses you've partnered with. And you can add value to their customers' experiences. I think a lot of times when we experience nervousness or fear, and fear is, and I've got it right here, because we say it all the time. Let me unblur myself. You got to see it. If you don't know me, I'm a sticky note queen. My whole desk is covered. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. We're afraid of something that may never go wrong, may never happen. You know what you should be more afraid of? What happens if you don't do it? And it could have changed everything. Because it could. All right. Kathy Ann said, I tell myself when I hesitate, this can be a missed opportunity. Yes. Stephanie said, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Samantha, you haven't allowed your picture to be taken for 20 years. Now, because of Sarah and Perla, you're doing TikTok lives, hosting travel parties, have booths at local events, talking to complete strangers, and your business has really taken off now that I've gotten out of your own way. Samantha, is her camera even on? It's not on, is it? Samantha, I'm very proud of you. That takes a lot. That takes a lot. And I hope you're proud of yourself. It's very easy to hide behind the computer and put out words and put out pictures of beautiful places. And maybe you've pushed yourself to the point of talking over those videos, but you haven't put your face out there. Would you trust somebody whose face you never saw? Now we can do this outside of the computer. We're all guilty. We are all guilty, and we can all be guilty together, but we're going to try to get past that, right? All right. We also have to talk about how we maintain the partnership once we've formed one. Partnerships are relationships. They need nurturing. Every relationship needs nurturing. The partnership with a business is the same thing. Engage on their social media. Stop in regularly. If they have a product to buy, support their business. Share their events and their promotions. Offer seasonal travel tips for their audience. Keep the communication open. It's not enough to go, okay, let's do this promotion together, and then you never do anything else. You have to maintain the partnership. The easiest way is to engage in their social media, but also become one of their customers. Marquette, did you just say you just started posting anything at all 2 weeks ago and you've been an agent almost a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm proud of you. You finally did it. Sometimes it takes us going, what am I doing? Why am I not doing anything? You can do this, right? Trust me, I didn't do anything on TikTok until the end of June. And I can't believe it's almost been 6 months. And like the amount of how it's changed, it's helping getting out there. All right, guys, I got some homework. Quick wins that you could implement this week. You could do one of these things, right? Visit one local business. Visit them. Yeah, you don't feel bad about yourself. Don't feel bad if you haven't done it. Because you also have to give yourself grace. because everybody finds a moment when they go, I'm getting out of my own head, I'm getting out of my own way, and I'm going to do it. And it's different for everyone. And my baby step is different than your baby step and everyone else's. All it takes is one baby step. If you could do everything 1% better than the day before, by the end of a year, you've done it 365% better than a year ago. Right? One tiny step. And do not compare your today to someone else's today, because you don't know where they've come from already. And what seems like a tiny step for me could be a huge leap for you, and vice versa. You might think I'm the most confident person in the world and I'll do anything. It's not true. There are plenty of things that I question myself about, that I hesitate to do, that I don't want to do, that I still haven't made myself do. And then there's other things that I go, oh, this isn't a big deal for me. But it could be the things I don't want to force myself to do might be the easy things for somebody else. All right. Maybe you can go out in your community and leave 10 business cards or QR codes. I can show you in a minute how to get a QR code. You could reach out to a photographer or a venue this week. You could contact a local bakery or coffee shop. You could join a community group or a business network in your area. Now, if you're super hesitant, this last one could be on Facebook or LinkedIn to start. Or I don't know if do they still do Meetup? I was in that Meetup app where there'd be like groups that had similar interests and you could go to them. I know I was in like a few and I would do it a lot and it was all before COVID. But there's a Meetup app where you find like local groups that do activities you like. That's also a great way you can get involved. That's not a business, but you could make connections. Join a group in your community or a business network. You could do it online first, but I do want to challenge everybody to do something not on their computer to connect with somehow in your community. And when you do it, I want you to put a comment in the Facebook Live. Under the Facebook Live, put a comment what you did. All right? That's your challenge. Do one thing. One thing. Here's some final thoughts. Local partnerships build trust faster than any ad you could make. When you align with businesses that serve your audience, you're expanding your reach in a very genuine way that's also cost effective, because for the most part, it's 100% free. The only time it wouldn't be free is if you're doing promotions together that you're giving away something, right? This is a long-term relationship-based strategy, and it's going to like snowball and compound over time. The more you build that relationship with that business, the more you can both help each other. Shannon just found a bridal and wedding expo, has a huge list of vendors, no travel agents listed. Girl, I will tell you, when you look at bridal and wedding expos, sometimes those can be pricey. So you also want to ask important questions for vendor events like that. Like, am I going to get an email list of everybody who buys a ticket? How many people do you expect to come through? Are you going to have more than one travel agent? I see you don't have one yet, but are you going to have more? Right? Those are important things. Because you don't want to be at a vendor show that has like 20 travel agents. And is the amount they're charging worthwhile for the amount of traffic they expect? Right? Because that can be important. I did, and this they did reach out to me for this. It's actually in my other room. I can't show you, but somebody reached out to me. It's called your local source, and it specifically goes to local country clubs and golf courses that it's there, and they only will have one of each business. So my business is in there as their recommended travel agency. Now, I negotiated them down from the price they wanted me to pay, but I still paid like $200. You know, they wanted me to pay like 600. I was like, I'm sorry. I would love to be in your little magazine, but I can't afford that. No, I'm sorry. But there are other things, but local businesses and partnerships are really going to help you. That's what I got, guys. But somebody just asked me about how to make a QR code. So, couple places. I get my business cards from Vistaprint. You can in here close, hide for now. I believe, let's see, business cards. I typically design mine in Canva and then upload, but you can browse templates. These are not like super fun, but we can search travel. Yeah, you could. Is it free, Samantha? I didn't know if it was free on Canva or not because I don't. I have a. Let me rephrase. I don't pay for my account, but I have a premium account because they gave it to teachers for free. So sometimes I don't know if what I'm doing is a free feature or not. That's all. I didn't want to show something that's not a free feature. Perfect. All right, so business cards. We can do landscape, portrait, square. I personally like the rounded cards. They'll show me like the area. So let's see. If you want a little travel background, well, those aren't fun. Let me go to elements, travel, because it will pull up travel pictures, photos. All right, let's see. Now, when you go to apps, you can search QR code generator. There's a whole bunch of them. So I don't know which ones are free, which ones aren't free, but I can click. You enter a URL. You're welcome. I'm so glad this is helpful. So let's see. So for example, I had done I had done my Facebook business page, but if I made my own website, maybe I want to do my web page. All you need is the website URL and you paste it in there, generate code. And then I can put it wherever I want. Okay. So for mine on my actual cards, let me show you how I have it. And if you are new, please make sure that you have your mentor or somebody look at your cards before you pay to print them to make sure you have all of the legally required things on there. Because there are some legally things. You're welcome. So mine, I have my code on the back and all of the license numbers on the back. It does cost more to print two sides, but that's where I have it. And the front is more what I specialize in and my big old phone number and everything. But the back still has that stuff and they can connect to me. So if I were going to post this on like a bulletin board or something, I'd put this side out. Okay. You're welcome. Good to know. You can also do it right in Vistaprint. I just didn't know if it was the free version or not of Canva because as I said, I don't pay for Canva, but I do have a let me stop the recording. I do have a paid